In a move many fans felt was long overdue, Coco Gauff let go of her now former coach Brad Gilbert after 14 months. Gilbert announced his split on Twitter/X, writing, "Thanks to Coco Gauff and the entire team for an absolutely amazing summer run in 2022 and for 14 months of incredible team effort. Coco, at just 20 years young, your future is incredibly bright, and I wish you nothing but continued success ahead. I'm excited for the next chapter in my coaching career." Gauff dedicated an IG story post to Gilbert, thanking him and wishing him all the best. While many fans are happy about the news, I can't help but wonder, will Gauff parting ways with Gilbert truly fix her recent challenges? Or are these issues deeper than what a coaching change can resolve? Hey, my name is Christian Bassnight and welcome to Christian's Court, where I cover tennis from all angles. If you haven't yet already, make sure you subscribe and click that notification bell to join Christian's crew and also be notified whenever I post more tennis news content like this. Now, looking back at Gauff and Gilbert's time together, Gilbert was an addition to the Gauff camp initially in the summer of 2023. The first tournament together was at the DC City Open, which she won, and that was Gauff's biggest career title at that point. Then she won her first 1,000 title a few weeks later in Cincinnati. And then, of course, Gauff claimed her first major title in New York at the US Open to cap off a truly dream summer. During that stretch, Gauff was also coached by Ribas, who joined the team before Brad Gilbert did ahead of Wimbledon. However, after Gauff won the Open, she and Ribas parted ways, and he eventually went back to working with China's Qinwen Zhang, who Wim Fissette dropped for Naomi Osaka. You see, it's all tied together here, this whole coaching carousel. It's just very messy. Coco said that she wanted to continue working with Ribas, but Ribas had to step away due to personal and health reasons. She said there were no hard feelings though, and that the split was amicable. Jarmir Jenkins was also in the Gauff camp during that magical summer 2023 run, but he too left the team soon after for undisclosed reasons. Jenkins is the former hitting partner of Serena Williams, but to me, he played a larger role than that. I think he was a fundamental contributor to Gauff's success as well. But regardless, since November of 2023, Gilbert assumed the role as Gauff's head coach. During that offseason, Coco recruited Felipe Luna to join her team, and he's more of Coco's assistant coach. Luna travels to all of Gauff's tournaments, whereas Brad is primarily only there for the big tournaments. This new Gilbert-Luna setup has been, I guess, moderately successful. Gauff defended her ASB Classic title in Auckland to start the season, and she made back-to-back slam semifinal appearances at the Australian Open and Roland Garros. But amidst those highs, there were also some pretty low moments for Coco this season. She went 4-8 against top 20 players, and then at Wimbledon, the Olympics, and the US Open, those losses highlighted the two main Achilles heels for Coco that she's dealt with her entire career, really, her serve and her forehand. Looking at Coco's last match at the US Open in her fourth round exit to Emma Navarro, the forehand was actually pretty solid throughout that match, but it was the serve that really did her in. She hit 19 double faults total in that match alone, which is just simply unacceptable. That was when the Gilbert needs to go chants were truly at an all-time high, because Coco fans were simply fed up with the apparent lack of progress that Brad had made in addressing the deep-rooted issues in Coco's game.
Brad, take some responsibility, because ain't no way Coco Gauff had 60 unforced errors, 19 double faults. Y'all might go to the court, but you're not doing what's supposed to be done with Coco while you're on the practice court. This is unjust. Either get up or shut up or do better by Coco Gauff.
Gilbert defended himself though soon after Coco lost on ESPN, saying that Coco's serve was fine in practice and that they've been working on it a lot recently in the practice, but the nerves just got to her. Gilbert's colleague Renee Stubbs grilled him actually live on the air, and she said that the true reason for Gauff's service troubles is a deeper rooted technical issue with the serve, and that Gilbert simply just hasn't properly addressed that. Many people agreed with Renee and felt that Coco should get a coach that would actually fix Coco's serve and the technicalities of it so that she doesn't fold under pressure with the serve. Gilbert has received similar criticisms over the Gauff forehand, but like Serena Williams said, I feel like that's more of a confidence thing, that forehand, and at this point, it's going to be very hard to change Coco's grip or her form. But the serve, I believe, and I agree for sure, needs a technical fix. Brad has a pretty well-known book amongst the tennis world called Winning Ugly, where he offers advice to tennis players on how they can be opponents even when their games aren't on, hence the title Winning Ugly. That Winning Ugly motto and philosophy has seemingly been a cornerstone during his partnership with Gauff, as Coco has come through some matches, a lot of matches actually, despite not playing her highest level, namely that 2023 US Open final. But amidst the rising pressure and expectations on Gauff as now a Grand Slam champion and her trying to back up that maiden slam win, it's clear that the winning ugly mentality can only take her so far. In a profile that Vogue did back in March on Gauff, Gilbert mentioned how his focus with Coco was accentuating her strengths and adjusting her game to kind of cover up her weaknesses rather than attacking them and addressing them head on. And as we've seen from Coco's recent losses, that has not been that successful. Coco says she hired Gilbert because he had the experience of working with Grand Slam champions like Andre Agassi, and he felt that he could help her in the pressure moments. And I think he definitely did that. Gauff's US Open triumph over Aryna Sabalenka in that final last year was a testament to that, and it was an exceptional display of fight, courage, and composure. There is no denying that Gilbert played an instrumental role in Gauff's summer success last year, and neither will regret working with each other for sure. They won a whole Grand Slam together, which is what Coco dreamed of. But it's clear to me that the partnership just simply ran its course. And if Coco wants to get to where I think that she can get and win multiple Grand Slams, I think she needs a coach that will truly address her deep-rooted issues in her game. This split is not a surprise to me at all. I thought it was coming. And I really think this was the perfect time to end things after Gauff had that US Open loss. And I know that people have said that she should have done it a while ago. She should have been split with Brad Gilbert. But I think it's important to remember that there are other reasons at play for Coco's losses and her subpar performances. The mental thing is a huge reason, and Gauff herself has been transparent about her struggles with anxiety and pressure, and not all the blame, I believe, should be placed on Brad. There is a chance that Coco might still struggle next season, even if she finds a competent coach. You cannot underestimate the pressure and nerves that accompany trying to win more Grand Slams. And I mentioned this after Coco lost at the US Open, but so many players go through a sophomore slump. Serena Williams did after she won her first major in 1999. It took her a couple seasons to win another major, and then Iga Swiatek, it took her about a year and a half, 2 years to win another major too. So it's understandable that Coco, especially at such a young age, didn't perform her best in the year after winning the US Open. I know that some also might feel that Coco split with Brad too soon, but to be honest, there's also the possibility of Brad being the one calling it quits and saying, I'm out. Maybe the criticism that he faced, and it was quite a bit of it, was too much for him. And judging from his statement, he still wants to coach in some capacity in addition to doing his ESPN commentary. And I know some people had an issue with that too, how he literally hopped on the panel desk right after Coco would lose these matches. I think Brad will be a good coach for someone else, but he just simply was not the best long-term coaching fit for Coco. Brad aside, it is unfortunate to me that Parariba and Jarmir Jenkins left the team because I think that they were very, very instrumental and key to Coco's success. Perhaps Coco can find a coach best suited to her and her needs. Now, there's no word yet on her replacement. I know Nick Kyrgios offered to coach her around the time of the US Open. I really don't want that to happen. Watch my last video if you want any context on that. But anyways, people thought that Renee Stubbs would be a good fit for her, especially after she went in and addressed Coco's issues right in front of Brad after she lost to Navarro at the US Open. Sasha Baye, Naomi Osaka's former coach, and Serena Williams' former hitting partner, I believe, is available to be coached. I really want Craig Tyser. He coached Ash Barty, and I think he will be a great coach for anybody, especially Coco Gauff, but I don't expect him to go back in the professional coaching game at all, to be honest. I think he'll stay retired with Ash Barty. Wim Fissette is also a possibility for Coco now. Fissette previously worked with the likes of Victoria Azarenka, Angelique Kerber, and Simona Halep before coaching Naomi Osaka to her two latest slam victories at the 2020 US Open and the 2021 Australian Open. Osaka and Fissette initially split in mid-2022, and then Naomi got pregnant and she gave birth to her daughter that following year. Osaka rehired Wim when she prepared for her latest comeback during the fall of 2023, and that was controversial because Fissette was working with Kim Wen-jang at that time, and he dropped her out of the blue to go back and work with Naomi. You could argue that Fissette got his karma, as Naomi's 2024 performance has been pretty subpar. Osaka currently is ranked 76 in the world, and she has failed to progress past the quarterfinals quarterfinals in any of her 17 tournaments played thus far this year. She still has not made a slam second week since winning the 2021 Australian Open. Osaka announced a split last week in an IG story post, thanking Fissette for the slams and the memories that they shared. Fissette dedicated a lengthier IG grid post to the matter, saying that he and Naomi were very close to a breakthrough, but Naomi was the one who called it quits. I'd argue that this Osaka-Fissette split was far more long overdue than the Gauff and Gilbert one. I know Fissette said that they were close to a breakthrough, but I just feel like there was just no progress in Naomi's game. She has not evolved as a player since the comeback. Her net skills have not improved. She has no variety on her shots, I feel, and her returning is still pretty subpar compared to what it was before. It was truly baffling to watch her make the same old mistakes and just completely implode out there whenever things got tough or tight in a match. There's so much potential with Naomi that just has not been tapped yet, and I don't know if it's the coaching or simply her and just her being stubborn or maybe dealing with some mental things going on there, but for sure it was definitely not a sight, just not good to watch. We will soon find out if it is a coaching problem or more of a Naomi deeper rooted problem, as Osaka seems to have enlisted Patrick Mouratogolou as her new coach. The Open Court first reported on this, and it seemingly confirmed after the pair were spotted training at UCLA on Friday last week, the same day that Osaka announced her split from Fissette. Neither Patrick nor Naomi have confirmed it yet themselves, but I would not be surprised if Patrick was in Naomi's coaching box during the upcoming Asian swing. Mouratagolou is most famously known for coaching the all-time great legend Serena Williams. From 2012 to 2017, they won 10 Grand Slam singles titles together. Despite this, people are questioning if he's truly a good coach and a good fit for Naomi. You know, he has not won a slam title since working with Serena Williams. He had an on and off stint with Holger Rune, and he arguably was not really a good fit for Holger. He coached Simona Halep in 2022, but that came with a lot of controversy as Halep fans said that he ruined her career. If you don't know, Mouratagolou and his team were kind of responsible for giving Halep that contaminated collagen, which caused her to test positive for Roxadustat, a banned substance, during the 2022 US Open. Mouratagolou honestly didn't have a lot of love in the tennis world already, aside from that, because people thought he was just arrogant or whatever else. But, you know, you can say that, but I definitely respect him as a businessman. He definitely made the most of an opportunity in working with Serena. His Mouratagolou Academy is probably the #1 academy right now. He has a booming social media presence, and he's branded himself as the coach, and people come looking for him for tips on how to improve their tennis game. He also launched the UTS kind of exhibition series, which has been a success too, so I props to him for that and his efforts of growing the sport. Now, this Osaka partnership is truly going to be a test of how good of a coach Patrick is. A lot is going to be on the line for him. It is interesting, too, that Osaka is now following in the footsteps of Venus and Serena yet again. Of course, she worked with Sasha Bayan, who was the former hitting partner of Serena Williams. He was the coach when she won her first 2 Grand Slams. Then Naomi worked with Jermaine Jenkins, the brother of Jarmir Jenkins, who was the former hitting partner of Venus Williams, and now she's working with Patrick. As a Serena fan, it is kind of going to be weird to me to see Patrick in Naomi's box, especially given the history of the 2018 US Open controversy, but business is business at the end of the day. I just find the whole coaching carousel thing to be very interesting right now. Normally it starts later in the season after the season has actually ended, but Elena Rybakina definitely started the trend earlier this year when she announced her split from her longtime coach Stefano Vukov at the US Open. I wonder if Brad will work with her next. What are your thoughts on this Coco and Brad split? Are you in the majority and believe that it was for the best and that she'll only flourish now? Or will Gauff continue to kind of stagnate? What about Naomi and Patrick? Do you think that they'll be successful and last? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below and make sure you subscribe again and click the notification bell so you're notified whenever I post more content like this and more developments on the coaching situation, because it's going to be a lot. This is only the beginning. Thank you all so much for watching and for your support, and I'll see y'all next time here on Christian's Court.